Okay, I think I might have gotten a bit carried away. I wanted to make a video for this event, and all I did was just end up playing this format for like hours and hours. So, whoopsie. That being said, I did test the decks that I'm going to show this event to make sure that they're that they're good and that I know what I'm talking about with when I'm discussing these decks. So yeah, let's just get straight into it. The thing you care about, the deck lists themselves. So here is Dragonmaid, the first in our Rarity deck I played 3 years ago when we got this event was Dragonmaid, and yeah, this is NR Dragonmaid with some paleo cards and like soldier dragons. Now don't get PTSD from like what Dragon Maids and paleo is in standard. This is not a paleo deck that spams rollback and just tries to mill cards with Longy Dragon Maid or like soldier dragons. No, we're not doing it like that. This is a Dragon Maid deck that just happens to play 3 paleo traps because Dinos Mission is like the best trap card in the game. But Longy Dragon Maid, you run this because this is one of 3 legal Dragon Maid names in this format, and the other one being Nurse, which isn't that good because Nurse kinda doesn't do anything without setup. So yeah, you have Longy Dragon Maid to mill 3. You have Para Dragon Maid, which dumps either the big dragons if you don't have them, or a Dragon Maid Tidium to extend from the grave. You have Soldier Dragons, the classic card where if your opponent doesn't read or realize what this card does, you can just summon Soldier Dragon, summon a Soldier Dragon, they activate a card, summon a Soldier Dragon, summon a third Soldier Dragon, and then Soldier Dragon can summon like a Longy Dragon Maid, and then mill 3, go from there. So yeah, that part's pretty I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Like, what Dragon Maid monsters do. They tag out into big dragons in the battle phase, and then the big dragons have effects. Like Tenkek means that basically this deck always wins combat because you'll always have access to Tenkek, and all your Dragon Maid monsters will go up to like above like 4k, nearly 5k attack. Access code doesn't exist in this format, so it's pretty hard to run over your big dragons when you have a Tenkek in hand. You have Lorpar, which is just a very bad imperm. You have Nudar, which is actually cool. It's basically like a DD Pro that shovels it back to deck, and you can recycle this every turn. Then you have Earnest, which enables you to extend if you have a hand full of Dragon Maid monsters, and enables some turn 0 plays, which is in our format, so that's pretty neat. And yeah, then you got like Dragon Maid Tidy, and then you have Dragon Maid Downtime. So this is basically, since you don't have Chamber Dragon Maid, this is how you search out all your Dragon Maid monsters. You have the hard open Downtime, and then Downtime can bounce one of your Dragon Maid monsters to hand, and then you can either search a card or return a spell trap to your opponent's hand. You notice we're not running much spell trap removal because this deck has in-engine spell trap removal in Tidying and Downtime. Tidying can go after back row, and Downtime can also obviously it bounces spell traps. So yeah, you don't really need spell trap removal like some other decks when you're playing Dragon Maid. Also, Dinos Mission can go after the problematic face-up ones too. And yeah, to combine with the Dragon Maid engine, this actually just came out relatively recently in our standards, which is that you're playing the Azamina engine. So how this works is Azamina Determination can shuffle back Sinful Spoils cards from your graveyard into your deck to special summon a Azamina Fusion monster. So you're gonna basically, this is the only target you really have, so you're going to use Azamina Determination to shuffle back all of your milled Sinful Spoils of Slumber Morians, and then other copies of itself to special summon Soul, and then Soul can just send a part of your opponent's controls, then into standby phase. This card adds an Azamina or Sinful Spoils card from your graveyard to your hand, so this can then add back the Azamina, and then you have like a resource loop. So you have like a resource loop with the Dragon Maid monsters constantly, summoning itself back and tagging out into the big dragons and summoning itself back, and then gaining effects and so on and so forth. And then Downtime is going to search a card every turn. And then you have Tidian, which bounces and then can resummon back your Dragon Maid monsters to get their effects again, like abusing Nurse every turn. And then you have the Azamina engine recycling itself back every turn. You have the Sinful Spoils of Slumber Morian, which resets itself if you summon Soul, and it can also like just reset itself if it's with like the Queen Azamina. So like the Queen Azamina, if it's sent for an effect, such as say a Dinomishus, it can special summon itself back, and then it can add a single spoil spell trap and then add it back to your hand. So yeah, you have a resources loop with the Azamina cards plus the Dragonmaid cards, so you're going to outgrind every deck, and seeing how this is in our format, games last a long time, so yeah, you're going to, yeah, you have the advantage in long games. And also there's just random generic traps we're running too, so Guard Dragon Cataclysm, this is just Icarus attack for dragon monsters, this is, except it's a hard one per turn, but yeah, you can just sack your Dragonmaid monsters, pop 2, neat. Small Scuffle, so this is basically like an E-Telly or Reinforced Troop for the deck. You can special summon a level 2 or lower monster from your deck, and your opponent can do the same. However, if your opponent is not playing like exactly Dragonmaid monsters or like Infernoble or like some very specific deck, they're not going to be able to take advantage of Small Scuffle because they can only special summon level 2 or lower monsters, and most decks are not going to be running level 2 or lower monsters. So this is basically just the one-sided special summon that you can use. So yeah, that's more consistency, because this deck is low on Dragonmaid monsters, so you know we do have to try and find ways to actually open a playable monster and like a playable hand. But if you open playable with this deck's like it's kind of unsolvable. It just snowballs. So yeah, you have like the 3 Soul Dragons, the 1 Nurse, 3 Laundry, Parlor, 2 Earnest, 1 and 1 Queen Azamina. Don't really need this. This is just a random card. If you draw it, it's nice. But you don't want to draw like. Don't want to brick on this obviously, so you don't want to run more than 1. 3 Sinful Spoils as a version. Just another Sinful Spoils name for Determination. Also, this is very good removal, because put the shit in the back row, and then you can like recycle this with the soul, so like you have infinite removal as well. 3 Dino, 3 Guard Dragon Cataclysm, 3 Tidying, 3 Small Scuffle, 3 Morian, 3 Determination, and 3 Downtime. Then the extra deck, so 2 souls for the Azamina Determination. Also, note, Azamina Determination, you can banish this. I didn't mention this, but you can banish this card from your graveyard and reset a Sinful Spoils monster in your graveyard as well. So this also lets you reset Morian if you mill them together. So that's neat. 1 Herald of Pure Light, because you have infinite advantage. You can just add any dragon or add any monster to your hand and then put a card back into your deck, which at that time you're going to be so far ahead in card advantage, like it's not going to matter. You have a Cat Shark because Laundry Dragonmaid is a water, so you know it can make this not be able to destroy it by battle, which is hard for some decks to out. Crumble Logos, it's just a negate on a face-up card, and Phantom Knights of Cursed Avalanche, another negate, and also turns a monster's attack to 0. Note that this can target non-monsters as well, whereas obviously Cursed Javelin can only target monsters. Mannequin Cat, if your opponent's playing a dark deck, you can get the Queen Azamina out. If your opponent's playing any other attribute, you can get the correct attribute of Dragonmaid monsters out as well. So yeah, it's neat. And then 1 Dark Arm and 1 Harmonizer Gradiel, which means your opponent can't can be destroyed, and also it cannot be destroyed by battle or destroyed by the activated effects of opponent's monster with the same attribute as this. And then you can equip monsters from your opponent's graveyard to this card. You have rank 7s because you can have like a Laundry plus a Nurse, then they can tag out into 2 level 7s, and then you can make a rank 7 that way. You have Cross Sheep, that's for randomly, if you want to Cross Sheep for Azamina Determination to summon out the soul and then summon back a Dragonmaid monster, at that point you already won the game, but it's funny. Pit Knight, Lizardos, Triple Burst, and Power Cartography are just generic Link monsters. But yeah, this is Dragonmaid. So I'm going to show like a replay of each of these decks just to highlight how they work. So here we go. Alright, so here's a game where we're going second and we open Earnest plus 3 Dragonmaid monsters. So our opponent's playing, still don't really know how to pronounce this card, but yeah, they're going to draw a card, and then in end phase we're going to do some turn 0 plays. We're going to use Earnest, pitch us out to summon Parlor. Parlor is going to send Dragonmaid Tidying, then Tidying is going to summon out the Laundry from hand, and Laundry is going to mill 3. So we get to mill 3, and then we add the Laundry back, and we established our turn with a Parlor Dragonmaid on the field. So I probably shouldn't have even summoned Parlor. I should have probably just summoned Laundry. you don't want to go through your tidings too quickly. This is a finite resource in your deck. You don't want to go through all 3. You always want one in deck, you know, for the option to extend or to search off downtime to, you know, use as an interruption. So I kind of went through tidings really quickly this game, but yeah, I was still getting used to this deck again. So I'm going to normal summon Laundry again to mill another 3, and we milled a Tinkek, so that's nice. We have a Tinkek now, and we have a Laundry Dragonmaid, so we can summon out both of these. And then our opponent's just going to Torrential. Probably should have Torrential before I summoned out both back, because now I get the 2 names back to my hand. But yeah, then they're going to reveal that they're on Red Eyes, so they're going to Black Metal search for Red Eyes Baby Dragon. Literally an embodiment of this game. Hydrogen Bomb versus the Coughing Baby deck. So they're going to summon the Coughing Baby, attack me for 1200, which is like fine, you know, I live. And then pass it back to me, and here I'm going to normal summon Parlor again. Parlor, send another Tiding. And then I'm going to Guard Dragon Cataclysm, pop their 2 cards. They're going to then trigger their Retro Dragon to summon itself back and summon Baby Dragon. I'm like, okay, here, you know what, you've had your fun, the Baby Dragon, go back to your back row where you belong. And then I'm going to, in the battle phase, summon back Nurse, because we milled that. Nurse is going to summon back Parlor, and then Nurse returns the hand for Earnest, Parlor returns the hand for Tinkek, and we just attack for a bunch of damage. Main phase 2, tag out the Nurse, summon back the Laundry, mill 3 cards, mill Azamina Determination plus 2 Paleos, so that's sick. And then we're gonna set the Morian as well. And as you can see, we have 7 cards versus our opponent 3 cards. So on turn 5, so immediately, you know, you can see where the advantage of the deck comes in. They're gonna summon back the whatever normal tribute summon the Advanced Dragon, pop my monster. They're gonna enter battle phase, and Advanced Dragon, when it destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you know, they get to summon a level 5 or higher monster from their hand or graveyard. But unfortunately, they're playing against Dragonmaid, and I always have access to Tinkek in hand, so I'm gonna just tag out for Earnest, and then they're gonna attack, and I'm gonna damage that Tinkek, make my Earnest 4600, and then they no longer can run it over. I don't know if they saw that coming or they just don't know what Dragonmaids do, but yeah, then I'm gonna tag into Nurse Dragonmaid, summon back Parlor. Parlor, send Lorpar, another name, and they're gonna set 2. And then end phase, I'm gonna use Earnest again to summon the Laundry to mill another 3, mill another Tidying, and mill a Dynamicious. Now I'm gonna use Morian, set my own Parlor, train Dynamicious, special summon itself back. And yeah, now Azamina Determination is then gonna set the Morian in the end phase, and our opponent's down to 2 cards, and like we still have 7 cards, and our opponent just gives up. So yeah, that's an example of just how this deck just snowballs advantage if it ever draws playable. So yeah. Okay, so next deck is Orcust, because Orcust Nightmare and Orcust Heart Horror happen to be rares, so you know this deck is legal. And yeah, the only thing is that, you know, obviously the payoff and the X deck monsters aren't the same without Galatea, because you know Galatea is an SR, so you're gonna do other things in the X deck. Mainly, you're going to Link Climb into Orcustrion. This deck isn't a deck that puts up too much interruption, but it puts up infinite resources, and it has again, the key with this format is that a lot of decks don't put up Unbreakable Wars, and they don't put up like 20 points of interaction, but they put up a lot of follow-up, because games go on for multiple turns. So the deck, oftentimes the deck that has the best follow-up and has the, you know, the best game 3 play, and then the best play turn 3, turn 4, turn 5, has the most power in those turns, are the decks that you know, win duels. So now Orcustrion is if this card is linked, can't be destroyed without a card effect. So you know, that's another layer of protection. Admittedly, it doesn't prevent targeting, so it you know, cards like Dynamicious do out the Orcustrion, but yeah, every turn you can target 3 of your managed machine monsters, like, you know, Galatea or so forth, and then shovel them back into your deck, and your opponent's Link monsters lose all their attack. But basically, this recycles back all of your Orcust monsters and all of your, you know, World Legacy, World Wands back into the deck, so that you can, every turn you can go through an Orcust line. Every turn you can summon Orcustrion. If Orcustrion dies, you can summon it back with Stimul Skeleton. So yeah, this deck just has, like the Dragonmaid deck I showed you, the deck just has infinite grind game, and that, you know, that's the key for this format, just having a grind game. And yeah, to go over the deck list, we have 3 Scrap Recycler, which this dumps Orcust Heart Horror, or it dumps Orcust Nightmare, or Stimul Skeleton, you know, whatever you wish. It can Scrap Recycler can also dump Gizmek Tanaguku, the Immobile Intellect. If this card is normal special summon, you can take a Machine Monster, put it like on top of your deck. That you're not never gonna summon this. Like you're playing this for the normal summon effect. You're playing this for you can banish this card from your graveyard and target a Machine Monster in your graveyard whose attack equals its own defense and special summon it in defense position. So, yeah, you can dump Scrap Recycler to summon back a World Legacy. You can use Scrap Recycler to dump the Gizmek, and then Gizmek can summon back like a World Legacy World Armor. And this is one of the best cards in the deck, since when this card is special summon, or when this card is summoned, you can add a World Legacy monster from your deck to your hand. If this normal summons card is on the field, which is you probably don't have to read this effect. This card is never going to be normal summoned. This deck's not about that, so this effect is irrelevant. But yeah, this searches any World Legacy card from your deck, which can be this, or most of the time it's going to be secret. If you don't have it, you can also search World Legacy Key, and then you can also special summon World Armor when World Wand hits the grave. So yeah, you have 3 Heart Horror, obviously 3 Nightmare, 1 World Chalice. This is just an extra monster where if you're pulling the special summons from like the deck or the extra deck. Or no, if you're pulling special summons from the X deck, my bad. From the deck, you can tribute this card and send it to the graveyard, and then this has like recursion as well, because like if this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this and then add a World Legacy monster, or like add a World Legacy card from your deck to your hand as well. So, yeah, we have 2 Indigo Eclipse, and then the 2 World Wand. Obviously, you guys know how Orcust works. Orcust Hardcore banishes, special summons a Nightmare, link off a Nightmare. Nightmare send World Wand summon back Heart Horror, and then you have a link 2, and then you link climb again, and then you get the Orcustrion eventually with that. You have another body, and then Orcustrion puts back the World Wand. So yeah, just infinite loot like that. You have World Legacy Survivor, which this is a ridiculous card in this format. This is basically a spell card Chaos Ruler. You activate 5, and then you add a World Legacy card to your hand. So yeah, as long as you don't whiff, you can add World Armor to hand, mill a World Wand, and then World Wand can summon the World Armor immediately. It mills your Heart Horrors and mills your Nightmares. It's crazy. You can add, if it reveals like a secret, you can add the secret back, then you can summon back a Indigo Eclipse. The 2 of the Move Guy, so Move Guy with World Legacy Key and World Legacy Secret can negate a monster effect or a trap effect in the same columns. So that's like your one form of negate in this deck. You have Destiny Draw, you have Pot of Greed, send the Nightmare, send a Heart Horror, draw 2, and then you can use these effects in grave. That's totally balanced. You have 2 World Legacy Memory, another card you can add off the Survivor, and it summons out the Move Guy, and then Move Guy combined with the World Legacy Secret, it gets you interruptions. And then also World Legacy Secret can also special summon back the World Armor too. So don't think of World Armor as a brick. It kind of is a brick, but if it's in your hand, you have ways to get rid of it. Dynamicious, discard World Armor and then summon back Secrets. It's also like a play that happens quite a bit. And then then you have like just spell trap removal and MST, Tyramin's Heartbeats, and Dynamicious. So Heartbeat and Dynamicious are broken because spell trap removal, 1, and they get these Orcust monsters into the graveyard. Especially Tyramin's Heartbeat. When you go second, you can like do a number to boards by like heartbeating something away and then dumping a Heart Horror and then getting your plays going from there. So yeah, this deck is pretty cool. It's a neat sort of combo deck that's not super oppressive because you don't end on much this format. So you're just like summoning big dudes and then setting a follow-up for the next turn. And then the extra deck, so 3 Dark Armor. One thing to know about World Legacy Survivor is this card link locks you if you activate it, so you can't make Dark Armed if you activate World Legacy Survivor on the same turn. But yeah, this is the best extra deck card in your deck because you have rank 7, so you have level 7, level 7, level 7, or not this level 7, but like you have a level 7 with this and a level 7 with this, and these are cards that do often find themselves on the field between Heart Horror, and then this just summons itself with the combinations of like World Wand and Secrets and that, so you can make Dark Armed, and then pop multiple cards. You have Code Talker. These are all just generic Dark Link 2s because Heart Horror locks you into Dark, so these are just generic Link monsters you can go into. Code Talker, Double Bite, which never comes up, so this could be literally anything because you need 2 Link monsters to make this, and you know who's gonna do that. Space Insulator, 1 Pentastag, double Codebreaker, Virus Horseman, it's the biggest dark rank 2. Haggard Lizardos, it's a good card. Just it's not a dark, so this is not gonna come up that often. 2 double burst, double triple burst, my bad, and then 1 Berserker of the Tenny, and then 2 Orcustrions. You only need 2 because if 1 dies, you can just summon it back with Symbol Skeleton, and then just recycle back with Symbol Skeleton. So yeah, you should never really need more than 2 of this. And you know, you just have a bunch of, you need like 3 Dark Link 3s just to be able to link climb with. But yeah, that's Orcust. So this is a game where I was still learning the deck, and I kind of missed it a little, and notably my opponent chose the blind second, which is odd in this format, but you know, it's their choice. So we open the World Legacy Survivor, and I'm gonna mill like 5 World Legacy. This card's fucking busted. So I add a World Legacy Secret to my hand, and then I send Orcust Nightmare to the grave. Then I normal summon Scrap Recycler. Scrap Recycler send Heart Pourer. Heart Pourer banishes itself, and then so the misplay was I should have summoned the Indigo Eclipse. I forgot the Heart Pourer just dark locks you, not just from the exit, but like from everything. So the Indigo Eclipse should be on the field. My bad, that kind of turns out my World Legacy Secret, so like I could have had an actual negate on the field this turn, but whoopsie. But anyway, we summon Symbol Skeleton, go into Space Insulator, and then Orcust Nightmare sends the World Wand. The World Wand summons banishes to summon out the Heart Pourer, then the Heart Pourer and the Space Insulator go into Triple Burst, and then Symbol Skeleton summon back the Heart Pourer, and here we go into Orcustrion, and then Orcustrion is going to shuffle 3 back. So here we end on Orcustrion, plus we have a Heart Pourer engraved, and the Heart Pourer engraved is an amazing follow-up. World Legacy World Chalice is also a decent follow-up. We should have an Indigo Eclipse on the field as well, so we should have a negate as well. So yeah, and then this is we have our resource game set up, and our opponent is playing Metalfoes with a Box of Friends. So they're gonna use Gold Diver on the Box of Friends, and I'm like, well, you know, you forced my hand. You know, I gotta. Surely you won't have another Metalfoe monster, right? Clueless, yeah. So yeah, now my opponent gets to play the game. And they set Parametalfoes Fusion. Now they Summoner's Arc for Volflame, activate Steal in, Pendulum Summon out Volflame and Gold Driver, and then set Metalfoes combo. This is why, you know, Metalfoes is also one of the best decks in this format too. So yeah, they're going to Parametalfoes Fusion, and then they gave me an opportunity, because now I'm gonna World Legacy Secret summon back the World Wand. The World Chalice. So even though I messed up, I still managed to find a way to get an interruption off this, because we can chain to them to their fusion summon to summon back the World Chalice, and now they're gonna go into Mithrilium, which then on the Mithrilium summon, I'm gonna send the World Chalice to send the Mithrilium, so they can't shuffle back, but they can summon back a Silvered. But now without the Mithrilium, it's really hard for them to out the Orcustrion. So pass it back to me, and I draw top deck a Heartbeat, and I'm gonna summon out the Mekdite Indigo Eclipse immediately, frame 1, so I don't forget. So then I use World Chalice, banish itself to add a World Legacy Key, then I'm gonna activate Key, add back the World Chalice to hand, and then I'm gonna, you know, you have Key set up, because Key is a trap removal, and our opponent has 2 back rows, so we have the Indigo Eclipse set up. Then we're gonna use Heart Pourer, summon out Orcust Nightmare, normal summon the second Heart Pourer, go into Code Talker, and then Orcust Nightmare, target the Orcustrion, send the World Wand, banish itself to summon the Heart Pourer back, and then I'm gonna enter battle and attack over the Volflame. And this is a kind of a misplay, because now that gives them an opportunity to trigger Metalfoes counter in a damage test, so I can't fucking move the Indigo Eclipse. Maybe I should have paid attention, maybe, and then I don't know if they set the Metalfoes counter or they just hard drew it, but yeah, if I knew where the counter was, I should have summoned the Indigo Eclipse in the zone where the Metalfoes counter was. But if they didn't search it, then, you know, there was no way for me to know, so it was like a 50-50. But yeah, then I'm gonna attack into Silver, and then they have a Bismugear, which I just leave on the field, and I go into Berserker of the Tenny, and I set Sheriman's Heartbeat, because I know that they have Seal on the field, but I can heartbeat the Stealing so that they can't pop the Bismuth. So hopefully they won't top deck another Metalfoes name. You know, clue is hopefully they won't top deck another Metalfoes name. But then I realized that the counter adds a Gold Driver back to their hand anyways. So now they can activate Gold Driver and Gold Driver. I'm gonna frame 1 heartbeat the Gold Driver, even though it doesn't do anything because they have a Stealing already, and now the Metalfoes combination gets negated by the by the Legacy Kia. Is very funny, but that wasn't the point of it. I cannot negate the combination effect in grave. Unfortunately, the grave is not a column, so now they can search another Metalfoes monster. Then they go pair Metalfoes Fusion into Mithrilium and enter battle, attack over the Indigo Eclipse so that I can't, you know, negate it with World of Secret. Then they're gonna Mithrilium shuffle back the Orcustrion, just makes me a little sad. Then they're gonna go Pendulum Summon out the Silver, pop their other scale, get another combinations, and then set. So pass it back to me, but we have double Heart Horror in grave, and we do another Heart Horror. This is a lot of Heart Horrors, so we still have follow up, and we're gonna use World Key, manage yourself again, add the World Legacy, World Armor, banish Heart Horror, summon out Orcust Nightmare, normal summon Heart Horror, go into the Codebreaker Virus Swordsman, Orcust Nightmare, banish yourself, send the World Wand effect triggers to summon the World Armor, and World Armor effect triggers to add a World Legacy Secret so that I can summon back my Indigo Eclipse. And now I'm gonna use World Wand to summon it back the Heart Horror. Again, just more follow up. I'm gonna link all you 3 into Orcustrion. Orcustrion's back. Orcustrion, shuffle back 3, double World Wand, World Chalice, and then put it back to 0. They're gonna Metalfoes Fusion and then chain Metalfoes combination. And yeah, they're gonna fuse into Orihulk, and their Mithrilium is gonna trigger, their Metalfoes combination is gonna trigger, so they're gonna summon back the Mithrilium, and then summon out the Bismuth, and I attack over the Mithrilium again, and they're gonna summon back the Stealing, which I'm gonna pop, just run over the Stealing, and now pass it back to them, and now I have World Legacy Secret, so I can summon back Indigo Eclipse into any column to negate either a trap effect or a monster effect. Now they top deck Southern Star, which is honestly that's a fucking crazy ass top deck. They could get another scale, the exact scale they want, a scale 8. Now they're gonna pop their other Metalfoes monster and then set a pair Metalfoes Fusion. Then it's gonna trigger the Melcaster to add the Silver back to hand, and then you're gonna use pair Metalfoes Fusion to now go into Crimson Knight, because they know that I have a World Legacy Secret set, so that if they try to go Mithrilium and try to shuffle, I don't even know if they run 3, but if they do, then I could just negate the Mithrilium because my Indigo Eclipse is in grave now, so it can't be run over by the Mithrilium. But yeah, they just go into the Crimson Knight, and then they're gonna use Metalfoes combination, which we're not gonna let that happen. I'm gonna World Legacy Secret summon back the Indigo Eclipse and negate the Metalfoes combination, because they have 2 vanilla monsters on the field basically, so I don't have any monster effects to negate anyways. They're gonna attack over the Indigo Eclipse, so, you know, whatever, I'll take that. And then they realize that they cannot out this follow up I have, because we have an Orcustrion, we have a Britannia Berserker, and again I have Heart Horror in grave again. Every turn Heart Horror, every turn go through the entire Orcust line. Alright, next deck I want to show is Vendread. This is arguably the best deck in this format right now. However, it's also one of the hardest to play, and I am, boy, I spent hours playtesting this deck trying to figure out how to play this deck properly, and I still couldn't do it. So, yeah, that should say something. You know, if you want to play the best deck of the format, you gotta put in whatever time we have left in this format and learn how to play this deck properly, because, like, oh boy, this deck ceiling. One of the highest ceilings, one of the best, strongest endboards in this entire format. You can get a Vendread Slayer that's a ritual summon using Hound Horde plus Revenants. So if you guys don't know, the gimmick of Vendread is that you ritual summon monsters. You can ritual summon monsters in your graveyard, not just from your hand. So if Vendread Slayer is in the grave, your spells ritual summon Vendread Slayer from the grave. So that's, you know, that's efficiency in ritual summoning, because, you know, any ritual deck needs a way to actually cheat out the mechanic. And then you tribute you ritual summon it using tributing your Vendread monsters. And Vendread monsters, when they're attributed on the field for a ritual summon, give you additional effects. So like Core, for example, makes your Slayer untargetable. Anima gives your monster like a demok effect where any monster battles, it gets banished. This is not the one you're going to be making most of the time. This is actually you're probably not going to be using Anima for a ritual summon. One, its level is bad, and two, it has the worst effect. Striges, after damage calc, if your Slayer battle an opponent's monster, you can draw a card and then discard a card. Hound Horde and Revenants are like the two ones you want to be using for the ritual summon for your Slayer, because Revenants is a quick effect, banish your opponent's monster, and then Hound Horde is a quick effect, banish a spell and trap card. So ideally you want to make a Vendread Slayer using at least Revenants, but if you can, Revenants plus Hound Horde, and then you have a you have a quick effect banish plus a quick effect spell trap banish, and then sometimes you can even have it be untargetable as well. So it's a towers as well, and then Revenge Slayer also gains 300 attack during the battle during damage calc because of its effect. So this is like a 2700 untargetable quick play banish 2 cards, which is insane in our format. And that's not all this deck does, because this deck can also take advantage of Aggle Mazara, where if this card is banished, you can special summon this card and reduce the level by 1. So that's important because there's a line with Puzzlemino and Vendread Core, because this combo is going to be really complicated. So also, like, I'm going to show it in a replay, but also I'm going to link a video from Destiny, the guy that I shamelessly stole this entire build from and stole their combo from. And I'm going to if you want to know how to play this like actually properly from like a good player, watch his video or watch their video, because they actually go through the entire line and they get the full end board multiple times, and yeah, much better than me. So yeah, and basically with the Puzzlemino cards, you have a Vendread Core engraved, which is sent there when Vendread Slayer goes to the graveyard. Vendread Slayer can send the Vendread Core and then add a Vendread Origin, so then you can ritual summon the Slayer again when the Core can summon itself into a Puzzlemino zone. The Puzzlemino will make this a level 8, and then you're gonna ideally banish Algol and Mazara with the Vendread Core, and then the Mazara, when it's banished, it summons itself back, and then you can keep it at level 8 or make it a level 7, depending on if you're going first or second. So then your Vendread Core, that's level 8 from your Puzzlemino plus the Algol and Mazara, can then go into Draglubion, and then Draglubion can summon Heart Earth, and Heart Earth, disgusting card. This format, it cannot be destroyed by battle, and during the end phase, you can detach a material from this card and banish all cards your opponent controls that were normal, special summon, or set this turn. So yeah, basically saying, if you can't out this board, you lose literally every single card, and you're gonna lose the next turn. So yeah, and you can't out this board because this Heart Earth is gonna be backed up by a Vendread Slayer that banishes a monster every turn. So yeah, have fun with that. Now the hard part is obviously getting all the pieces. This deck requires like a 3 to 4 card combos of different combinations of cards, and each line is different depending on which card you draw. So yeah, I'll just say, the best way to learn this deck is not me explaining it. It's going to be playing this deck for yourself. So if you're interested, if you want to take the plunge, here's the deck list. So 1 Core, 1 Anima, 1 Striges, 2 Hound Horde, and then 2 Revenants, 3 Manju, 3 Samurai Skull. Samurai Skull can dump a Scar of the Vendread. When Scar of the Vendread is set into the graveyard, you can add a Vendread spell trap from deck to your hand. So you can add any of these 5 cards are your search targets, and whichever one you add is going to depend on the rest of your hand. And this can also send Algol and Mazara if you already have all your combo pieces. 3 Scar of the Vendread. Now don't be baited by its effect when it's you can special when this card, if a monster is tributed, you can special summon this card from your graveyard. So don't do that unless that's your last play, because this card locks you into Vendread monsters, and that means that you can't summon anything from your extra deck after you summon this card. So if you're going to use the effect to summon from grave, make sure it's the last thing you do, or in most combo lines, you don't actually summon this card back just because it locks you. But yeah, it's a recurring resource that, like, every turn it gets, if you do summon this back and it gets killed by your opponent because they don't know better, then you get another search. And yeah, again, this deck, a theme with this event, all the best decks have an amazing follow-up. 2 Thunderbird because they limited Vendread core, so this is what you fill the slots with. Just generic extender that can pitch cards from hand. It can pitch Scar to Vendread and get a search that way too. So that's 3 Algolem Zero. Honestly, like maybe the best card in the deck. And I can't believe this card is also legal, but yeah, it gets banished, you summon itself back. So again, the combo is core, banished at Mazera, and then you get a rank 8 or a rank 7 of your choice. 3 Slayer, 3 Pauper Up. This is not a self-decay deck. You're actually using this card for like the send 3 and draw 3. Because you can send your Vendread monsters to the graveyard, like your Slayer and your Scar. Draw 3 cards, trigger your Scar, and then Vendread being in the graveyard or the hand does not matter because you can all your ritual spells ritual summon from the graveyard anyway. So you ideally want to ritual summon Slayer from the graveyard instead of the hand. And then 3 Vendread Knights, basically you discard a card, add any Vendread monster from your deck to your hand. 3 Revenged Origin and 3 Evolution. This is how you ritual summon. Most of the time you're gonna evolution back the Revenged Slayer, then link off the Revenged Slayer, and then Revenged Slayer is gonna search Origin, and then you're gonna ritual summon the Slayer for real with the Origin. So yeah, you're gonna go through like 2 ritual spells most of the time. 1 Vendread charge. This is how you're gonna most often get your Hound Hordes and your Revenants to the field. So Hound Horde can special summon itself back by discarding an advantage card. So that's easy. That you can easily get the Hound Horde on the field. Getting this on the field is a lot harder because this doesn't have an effect that special summons itself. So the easiest way is going to be using Vendread Charge to send a zombie monster from your hand or face up to the graveyard, and then summoning the Vendread Revenants directly from your deck. That way you have Revenants plus Hound Horde on the field for you to ritual summon using your Slayer. And then you have Vendread Evolution. Also note is that Vendread Evolution can use cards, Vendread monsters from deck, so you can use the Evolution to summon the ritual summon Slayers, then send Scar the Vendread for the entire tribute cost of Vendread Slayer because it's a level 6, and then you can trigger their Scar effect to then add the Vendread Charge, and then you can use Vendread Charge to summon out the Revenants, and then you can later on in turn ritual summon the Slayer again using the Revenants that you got from the Vendread Charge. So yeah, it's a lot of things you can do with this deck. It's really too many different lines and too many different combination cards to explain in just in a deck profile. So I'll just leave it at that for now. And then Vendread Revolution, it's like a pot of avarice. I don't think you ever use it. I don't think you ever set this card or use this card for its activate effect on field. But I honestly, this card hasn't even come out once for me because I feel like by the time you get this card live, you're already winning so hard already. But yeah, then the extra deck. So we have a Odd Eyes package too. So the Draglubion combo I mentioned, you can make Draglubion turn 1. If you're going second, you actually want to make Absolute Dragon. So then you can go Absolute Dragon, link it off into like a Cross Sheep, and then summon out either an Odd Eyes Meteor Burst Dragon, which then if your opponent is like having a lot of face down monsters or a lot of monsters that trigger in the battle phase, you can make Meteor Burst, get a sizable attack boost off the Cross Sheep, and then also you just get a free monster. And then your Revenge Slayer is a ritual monster. Cross Sheep has a ritual summon effect as well, so you can get synchro effect plus the ritual effect, which is a draw 2, discard 2, which is nice. Or if your opponent has a face up attack wizard monster, you can summon out Vortex Dragon instead off of the Absolute Dragon, and then bounce their monster, and then trigger the Cross Sheep effect, then special summon a monster from your graveyard as well. So yeah, the Puzzle Limo play is really a key integral part of this deck and why this deck is so powerful, either being able to go into a rank 7 or a rank 8 at will using Mazera plus Vendread Core, or any way to banish Mazera plus any other monsters, special summon to the Puzzle Limo zone. And then Jaja, just generic removal. Heartland Draco, because it's the thing you attach off of the attached to the Heart Earth, so it's the next best option. Sophia is just the generic rank 4 removal of this format. Crazy Beast is spell trap removal, which is very key because most decks don't have spell trap removal from the extra deck. At least they don't have it, very easily available. Whereas here, it's not easy to make, but you know, Crazy Beast is a rank 6, and Revenger Slayer is also a rank 6. It's also a level 6, and then you know you have Puzzle Limos to make anything else you summon into a level 6 as well. So you do have access to Crazy Beast as a spell trap removal. Yeah, these are already mentioned: the Puzzle Limo, the Rashi, Midnight Early, just generic Haggard Lizardos, and Triple Burst. These are all just generic S-Drag options, as you've seen already. So, yeah. So here's a replay where I almost got off the combo. So my opponent is going first, and they're playing the Loner deck, which is you know, unfortunately they're playing the worst Loner deck. This is about as good of a hand as they can open. They have Transcendent Swords plus Lost World, suddenly a token so that I can't target anything. Unfortunately, this token is not going to be enough, and this token is literally just free link material. It's like free real estate. So my hand, I start with Thunderbird, see if I discard anything. I discard Evolution, which is the best thing to discard because you know, I have 2 of them already. I draw into Mazura, which is sick. So I'm going to normal summon Samurai Skull. Samurai Skull is going to send Scar to Vendread. Scar to Vendread is going to add Vendread Charge. And here I'm going to activate Vendread Knight. Vendread Knight's just going to pitch the Mazura to add the Revendread Slayer. And now I'm going to use Vendread Charge to send the Revendread Slayer to the graveyard to summon out the Horde Hound. And then I'm going to use Vendread Evolution, Ritual Summon back the Slayer by sending the Scar for the entire tribute. And then I'm going to link off the Lost World token, thank you very much, plus the Revendread Slayer into Puzzle Lumino. And then we're going to use Revendread Slayer. It's going to add Origin, and then we're going to send the core to the graveyard, and then we're going to use Revendread Origin, summoning back the Slayer, sacking off the Samurai Skull plus the Horde Hound, because I want to use Horde Hound because I want to get rid of this Lost World. So yeah, we're going to summon the Revendread Slayer, and then we're going to use Revendread Core, and I banished the wrong thing. Okay, I was supposed to banish the Mazura. That's the entire point of the Mazura. That's the whole point of this card, was that you're supposed to banish this with the Vendread Core, and then summon back the Core to the Puzzle Limo zone, and then the Puzzle Limo is going to make the Core a level 7, then the Mazura comes, and the Mazura that was banished by the Core comes back as a level 7, then you make a rank 7 into Absolute Dragon, then you go into link it off into Cross Sheep, and then, you know, that entire play, I fucked it up because I banished the wrong fucking card off the Vendread Core. So I'm still fucking it up. After all this playtesting, I still can't do the combo correctly. So yeah, the Vendread Core, now the Puzzle Limo effect is pointless. But unfortunately, I do have the Hound Horde, so I can summon back the Hound Horde. Never punished, go into Midnight Early, and then use Revendread Slayer to banish the Lost World, then trigger Early's effect to make the Transcendent Swords Glacial Swords a 0 attack. And this is still game. It's not as cool the way I did this, but yeah, I banished the Mazura from grave, then summoned back the Mazura to show what I should have done in the first place. But yeah, that's an example of the explosiveness of this deck. This is like one of the few decks that actually puts up a very strong board in this format, but also still has to follow up. But yeah, obviously, go watch Destiny's video instead, because they do a much better job showcasing this deck than I do. All right, this next deck we're gonna show off is Peeps' Wet Dream, because this is literally just Fire Warrior monsters plus back row. Look at all this, 21 back row, baby. This is the control deck of this format. And you know, I don't think we can play the actual Flame Swordsman cards, unfortunately, because the actual good Flame Swordsman fusion is like a S, it's like a UR or something. So, and a lot of the spell traps are SR. So I'm not sure if the Flame Swordsman cards works, but it's okay. We have the next best thing, which is just Infernoble Knights. And you're gonna love this, because there's no Isolda in this format, because Isolda is a UR. So we're not gonna do any of the stupid combo swap with Infernoble Warriors. Instead, we're gonna use them for their other effect, which is the fact that these are all warrior monsters that can equip to each other and gain effects when they hit the graveyard. So yeah, this is a super grinding deck, because all of these warrior monsters, when they go to the grave, will get you some sort of benefit and recursion, and that's why you can pair these up with stuff like Torrential Tribute and Needle Sealing, to where you can kill your own monsters, kill your opponent's board, and then these monsters can then get their floating effects in, and you can get an infinite grinding game that way. So yeah, you have 3 Roland, which you can equip this card to a monster against 500 attack. That's not really the important part. The main thing is that if this card, during the end phase, this card is sent there this turn, you can add a Fire Warrior monster or an equip monster spell from deck to your hand. So you can already see, you know, this, you link it off, you get a search. This, you kill it with Torrential, you kill it with Xeno Sealing, you get a search, and then, yeah, it's really neat. You can also search 2 copies of Therion Bull-Ein. So Bull-Ein, you know, this is the Therion for warrior monsters, so any warrior monster you can equip, and then just special summon Therion Bull-Ein, and then this is a searchable removal. But also, this can, imagine you go Roland search Bull-Ein, you go Bull-Ein, equip the Roland, you go Bull-Ein, kill the card, and then during the end phase, you get a second search off the Roland, and then you can search another Bull-Ein for the next turn, and then Bull-Ein can then equip back the Roland, and yeah, you can see that's like a 1 card. It gets you like over the course of 3 turns, it gets you like a +3, +4, or whatever, easy. You have one Astolfo is just a, you know, just an extender that you can just special summon. It's a very slow effect in the graveyard, so if it ever gets to the second standby phase after this card's activation, after you banish this card from the graveyard, then you can get another monster back too. You have one Ricardetto, it's a level 1 tuner. You have a Battling Boxer engine, so the Battling Boxer uppercutter, this card searches a Battling Boxer monster, or it searches Flambout Counter, which is a counter trap, so that negates, it's a spell trap negate, so yeah, you can just immediately uppercutter search a counter trap as well. You have Bale as a secondary target, search target for the uppercutter, you know, because it is hard to out this format. You can special summon this card from your hand when you take battle damage, so gain back life points. Neat, it's a level 4 Fire Warrior monster. You have Oliver, which can send a equip spell or a warrior monster to special summon himself as a level 1 tuner. That's how you're going to make most of your synchros, using Oliver as a level 1 tuner. But then they can also equip to a monster you control, and then they can be targeted by monster effects. So yeah, you have like several monsters that can equip to your Infernoble monster to gain an additional effects, such as or not just Infernoble monsters, just any warrior monster you control. So, you know, you can make your warrior monster untargetable, undestroyable by battle, and gains 500 attack. So, yeah, off of the Captain Roland. Then you have Magus. This is basically a Pot of Avarice. If this card's in the graveyard, shuffle 3 other Fire Warrior monsters or Noble Arm cards that are banished or in your graveyard, and draw a card. So you can summon back to Durando, or you can shuffle back to Durando. You can shuffle back all your Fire Warrior monsters to draw a card, and then Magus, interestingly enough, can then just equip itself back to a monster, and then when that monster dies, Magus goes to the grave again, and then you can use its effect and recycle again and again and again. So just, again, you're just accumulating advantage every turn, just grinding and grinding and grinding. One Turpin just as a level 4 extender, so that this is a level 1 tuner, this is a level 4 extender. You can just summon it if there's a monster equipped with an equip card. And then the Bull-Ein already mentioned, you know, very sick with Roland, and just generic removal. 3 Durando, obviously, just Rhoda, and then the trap row, the back row, baby. This is what this deck's all about. 3 Torrential, 3 Needle Sealing. Kill your own monsters does not matter one bit, because your own monsters, they float, they give you back all your cards back. 1 Reinforced Truth, and then 2 Small Scuffle. Again, the Small Scuffle, like in the Dragonmaid deck, you can summon out your Rolands and Ricardetto if you want, but mostly you're going to summon out Roland, because Roland gets the effect when it goes to the graveyard. Reinforced Truth also does the same thing, but it's limited. Unfortunately, we do have 2 more copies of Reinforced Truth anyways, so as long as you don't play against the mirror match or against like Dragonmaids, the Small Scuffle is gonna be fine. 3 non-emissions, 3 Horn of Oliphant. You know, this is the other card mentioned on the Angelica that no one ever bothers looking at, because you just search Angelica's ring normally in constructed. Well, yeah, Horn of Oliphant is an insane card. First effect, manage a equip spell you control or in your graveyard and just destroy a card on the field. So it's just a quick play, or it's just a trap card that destroys anything whenever you want. But also, it has the second effect is even more insane, where if you destroy a Roland monster, you can then special summon 3 Fire Warrior monsters from your deck, equaling level 9. So this is a triple E-Telly from the deck. And your Roland monsters are going to be 1, you know, Infernoble Knight Roland, obviously the dream is pop Roland with Oliphant, special summon 3 Infernoble monsters from your deck, and then the Roland gets the search in the end phase. Also, the Infernoble Knight Captain Roland is also a Roland monster. So yeah, you can also pop this for the summon 3 off the Horn of the Oliphant. But like a lot of times you're just going to use this to just, you know, kill a card because you're already so far ahead in terms of card advantage most of the time. You have Expendable Die as well. This is like Icarus attack for warrior monsters. It's in a trap form, so it's not, obviously it's not as good as, or sorry, did I say Icarus attack? I meant Gemini Spark. Yeah, it's not as good as Gemini Spark, but you know, it's still nice, especially because you're always going to plus off this because you're going to pop their monster, you're going to pop their card, draw a card, and then your monster is going to get another beneficial effect for you in the graveyard later on. So, yeah. Then we have Omega Lull Judgment. Target a face-up monster in your spell and trap zone, and then 2 cards your opponent controls and destroy them. So this is the Icarus attack. This is the Icarus attack for monsters equipped to your other monsters, which this deck can easily do because again, Roland equips itself, this equips itself, this equips itself, this equips itself. So yeah, Bull-Eye also equips a monster to it. So yeah, this is very easily going to be live. So you can tell like this deck has some of the best back row in the game. There's like so much good back row. Most decks cannot push through all of this. And then obviously the Small Scuffle and the Flambout counter. So yeah, the extra deck, then you have like a couple Rolands, you have a couple Stardust Charge Warriors, because this is the best level 6 Warrior Synchro. Draws a card, and you know, because it's a warrior, you're gonna be locked into Fire Warrior, not Fire Warrior, you're gonna be locked into Warrior Monster a lot of the time because of stuff like Horn of Oliphant and stuff like that. But you know, it won't matter because the Warrior toolbox in the extra deck is good enough. You have 7 Swords Warrior, which basically, when an equip card is equipped to this card, it deflects 800 damage to your opponent. So it's a cheeky way to go for a game just by like equipping an equip monster to this, burning them for 800, and then you know, probably the equip monster is probably going to give it another 500 attacks. So that's a lot of damage right there. And then you can also target equip to this card, and send to, you can target 1 equip part equipped to this card, send to the graveyard. And when the equip part equipped to this card is sent to the graveyard, then you can destroy one of your opponent's monsters too. So yeah, then you have Autoized Meteorburst, obviously generic level 7, and then Shiranui Squire Saga, which being a level 7 synchro that's not a warrior does not come up really that much, but you can banish a face-up monster you control or in your graveyard. And then if it's a fire monster, you can destroy a spell trap card on the field. So yeah, this is a sort of a way to get spell trap removal in this deck. Then you have Heroic Champion Jarn Griper, which basically this is just because it's a rank 1 warrior monster, and you have like multiple level 1 warrior monsters. But first time each warrior monster you control would be destroyed by battle card effect, it's not destroyed. And then you can detach 2 materials from this card, and then target a level or rank 4 warrior monster in your graveyard, special summon it, and then this card gains attack equal to its original attack. So yeah, when attack is declared involving your opponent's monster, you can gain life when you get to half its attack. So this card basically means that you're never going to die when you make this card, and it's a way to get your Rolands into the graveyard too, as well. A creative way to get your Rolands into the graveyard. Rhapsody and Berserk. Yeah, I saw every Infernoble deck running this, so there must be a reason. You know, I guess Rhapsody and Berserk equipping to another, like a Gaga Samurai or a however the hell you pronounce this card. It's pretty neat, and you know, banishing your opponent's graveyard. Again, this is a format based on follow-up, so this gets rid of your opponent's follow-up, like Orcust or Vendread. So yeah, this card's pretty cool. Gaga Samurai, just because it's a level 4 warrior on rank 4 that can attack twice, so you can equip like a Captain Roland to this card, give it another extra 500 attacks, so now you're doing 2400 times 2, which is a lot of damage. Sophio is the best generic rank 4 warrior XCs, so yeah, just because it's just generic removal in this format. Then you have Double Cold-Fired Swordsman, the best Link 2 warrior monster, also because if this card is destroyed by your opponent's card, it specials itself back too, so it has more recursion on top of all the recursion your deck already has, and then, you know, a random triple burst. But yeah, this deck, yeah, if you like controlled decks, I mean, you're gonna feel right in place with this. Okay, so here is a game of Infernoble Knights, and we open Uppercut plus Boxer Veil. So I'm gonna normal summon Uppercut, and I'm gonna add Flambout counter, and I'm gonna use Durandal. Not sure if this is correct or anything, but I'm gonna use Durandal to add the Oliver, so that I can use Oliver to send the Boxer Veil to the graveyard to special summon the Oliver, and then I'm gonna I'm gonna synchro into Captain Roland, trigger Captain Roland's effect. That way, we put the Battling Boxer Uppercut into the graveyard, so now the Flambout counter is immediately live. So now you have a monster of 200 defense, a fire monster of 200 defense in the graveyard, and we're gonna equip the Oliver to the Captain Roland just so it's untargetable, and now end phase we send the Durandal and add the Roland to your hand. So now we have the Roland live for next turn as well. So yeah, follow up plus 3 back row. Like what decks play into Torrential Needle Stealing plus Flambout counter, right? Our opponent's gonna set 4 cards, so pass it back to me, and here I just start making things happen. So I'm gonna normal summon Roland, gonna synchro into Stardust Charge Warrior, draw a card out the Stardust Charge Warrior. They're gonna try to compulse this, which I don't know if this was worth it, but I guess I'll just Flambout counter it anyways. Counter, manage the Uppercut, and then we get to draw a card, and then Oliver equip to the Stardust Charge Warrior. Attempt to equip to the Stardust Charge Warrior, so that's gonna bait out the second compulse. So now we just baited out 2 of their back row, which is pretty decent. And then we're gonna go to the end phase. Roland effect is gonna add a Bull Iron, and now I still feel good because again I don't feel in danger at all because this deck plays Torrential plus Needle Stealing. So if they do anything, they're just gonna get blown out. And our opponent's playing Generaiders. So I'm sorry, this is gonna be another common Dire L. Did not mean it to work out that way, but Giant Rat, by the way, playing Giant Rat is crazy. I know it's an end format, but like this is, even in this format, Giant Rat is insane. So now they're gonna boss stage summon out the Ugarda, and on the summon of Ugarda, I'm actually gonna Torrential right now because if they summon the tokens, then the Ugarda is gonna be able to quick play banish my Dino Ceiling, which I don't want that. So I'm just gonna Torrential right now, and they can summon their tokens. Doesn't really matter, their tokens all die in the end phase anyways. I don't really care about the tokens. So yeah, the Ugarda goes away, and now they summon 5 tokens. And now I'm going to use the Bull Iron I searched off of the Roland to equip the Roland again. And now you can see where this goes crazy. So now they're going to use Dino Missions, try to save their boss stage. And now I'm going to normal summon Magus, equip the Oliver, and equip the Roland to it. So now I just attack over a token for 500. And now this has 500 attack and can't be targeted, and end phase I get to search another Bull Iron off of the Roland. So yeah, you see how this is fucking crazy, right? Like the Roland loop searching Bull Iron, and equipping back the Roland. Yeah, and now passes back to me. Our opponent can't do anything because they're on 3 fucking cards, and we're on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 real cards plus 2 equips. So yeah, pass back to me. They're going to the Generator boss stage again, summon back, summon a Vala. They're gonna trigger Vala and boss stage, so the Vala is going to summon back the Ugarda, and then they're going to get 3 tokens. And on these 3 summons, I'm going to Needle Stealing, which is unfortunate because they can chain the Ugarda, and they can Ugarda target my other Needle Stealing. They can't target my Infernoble Knight Magus because it's equipped with Oliver, so that's cool. But now the Magus goes to the graveyard, and now I can Magus shuffle back 2 Durandal and a Battling Boxer Veil to draw a card. Normal summon we're going to use Bull Iron to equip the Roland once again. I'm going to normal summon Battling Boxer Uppercut at the Boxer Veil I just shuffled back. And now I'm going to special Turpin. And I'm going to go into Gaga Samurai just for damage. Samurai effect, detach the Battling Boxer Uppercut. And then I'm going to use Roland equipped to the Gaga Samurai. And then Magus equipped to the Gaga Samurai as well. So, and then Oliver equipped to the Gaga Samurai. So now we got the triple equip going on. 500 attack, can't be targeted and cannot be destroyed by battle. We're gonna enter battle phase, attack for 21, and attack for 48. And then main phase 2, Bull Iron kills itself. This send their boss stage, get the Roland search in the end phase 1 again, search at Durandal, and then set a small scuffle. So yeah, now my opponent's down to 3 cards and 600 life points, and we have a very hard to out a Gaga Samurai out on the field, and we have small scuffle to search another card. And for some reason, if they're somehow in danger of killing us, we have the Battling Boxer Veil as just in turn, so that we know we'll never die, and then we can get all of our follow up on the next turn once again. So yeah, they're gonna Vala pitch Naglfar, and then Vala summon back in Naglfar. I'm gonna go into 9 Lives Cat. I've never seen this card in my life. What the hell is this? You're gonna summon back the Utgarda. You're gonna link off the Lives Cat and Gravity Controller, try to attack, and try to out my Gaga Samurai, and instead they realize they're at 600 life points and they can't even out my Gaga Samurai like that because they're just gonna lose. So yeah, and even if they did somehow out my Gaga Samurai, the Mogget is gonna go to the graveyard. The Mogget is gonna shuffle 3 back, draw another card, and then I had Small Scuffle to summon back another Roland. So yeah. So yeah, I'm really sorry I couldn't get this video out earlier. I got carried away with playing this format. You really blame me. But yeah, we still have this format out for another, you know, 20, another 30-ish hours. So for the last 30 hours of this event, you know, go enjoy yourself. Like, hopefully this video gave you more ideas on decks you can play. But again, we're just scratching the surface. There are literally hundreds upon hundreds of decks you can play for this event. And these are just 4 out of the possible hundreds of decks you can play. So let me know in the comments what you've been playing for this event so far. And you know, maybe if something sounds interesting, I'll go play one of your guys' suggestions in the comments too. So yeah, thanks for watching, and hopefully we're gonna get an event like this back sooner than 3 years again. You know, hopefully we get another NR Rarity event in some shape or form before 2028. Go beyond.